Hello and welcome. Today we'll be using the breath as usual to guide us through this flow practice. And at the end we'll finish with some pranayama and a quick meditation. So first let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat, in sukhasana, easy pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Go ahead and take your right hand and place it on your belly, left hand over your heart, relaxing your elbows by your side, and gently close the eyes. Straightening the spine to where it's not strained, but that it feels supported. Vertebra by vertebra, naturally stacked on top of one another. And begin to just notice the breath. Notice the quality and the rhythm. As you inhale through your nose, imagine the air coming in through your nostrils, filling up your lungs, filling up your belly, and then exhale, pushing the navel back towards the spine, emptying out the lungs, air coming out of the nostrils. Inhaling again, air coming in, filling up the chest, filling up the belly, and then exhale, navel gently goes back towards the spine, emptying all the air out. And continue just like this. Inhaling, filling up the chest and the belly. And then exhale, belly and chest. And again, just noticing. And noticing how your hands are moving on top of your chest, on top of your belly, as you inhale and as you exhale. 2 more rounds. Seeing if you can make your inhales just as long as your exhales. And can you lengthen them both? Finish your last exhale. And then take your arms and your hands down by your side, placing your hands on your knees, either keeping your eyes closed or opening them softly. And first, let's just start to make circles with our torso. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Big circles, opening up the spine. And synchronizing the breath with your movements. Each time your circle is getting just a little bigger than the last. And then reverse, opposite direction, but still inhaling forward and exhaling back. Seeing how big you can make your circles as your spine starts to warm up. One more, make it big. And then come back into center. And now inhale, lean forward, chest shines forward, gaze goes up. Exhale, rock back, holding your knees, rounding your spine, chin towards chest. Inhale, heart forward, gaze lifts. Exhale, round, really curving the spine, gaze goes down. 2 more. With your own breath, with your own rhythm. When you finish your last round, meet back into the center. If you need to, maybe swap the position of your legs. We'll only be here for a little longer. And now taking your hands, interlacing them in front of you. As you inhale, flip the palms and reach up. Maybe your gaze lifts it up as well. Expanding the ribs. And then exhale round as if you're holding a big beach ball in front of you. Making a circle with the arms, chin lowers. And then inhale, bringing your hands behind you. Interlacing them. Chest shines forward. Gaze goes up. Hands reach towards the earth. And then exhale. Hands come into heart center, into prayer. Chin is neutral. And let's continue just like that. Interlacing the hands, flipping the palms, reaching up. A long line of energy. And then exhale round, curving the spine, holding a big beach ball. Your chin lowers. Inhale, reaching the arms behind, interlacing them behind your back and open up your heart and chest. Shoulder blades melt down your back. Exhale, hands into prayer, meeting at heart center, elbows out. Again, reaching up, length in the spine, space in between your ribs, opening up the lungs. Exhale, round. Feeling the round coming out of our natural curve in our spine. Inhale, hands reach back, opening up the chest. Gaze goes up, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. And now one more round on your own in silence. Now with your eyes closed. Feeling yourself open up and warm up for today's practice. Making each movement intentional and a little deeper than the last. And when you're ready, coming back into center. And now let's go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers spread wide, index finger facing forward. Spine is neutral. Just take a breath here. Neck is neutral as well to remove any tension. As you exhale, make sure to push your navel back towards your spine. And then on your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the chin, heart opens and shines forward into cow. And then exhale around the spine into cat. Gaze goes back towards your toes, really pushing your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Inhale, moving through cat and cow. Just a couple more times. Feeling our core start to stretch and open up, warming up. And really making our breath match our movements, or more so, our movements match our breath. And then coming back up into cow, dropping the belly, gaze comes up. Tuck the toes, and then as you exhale, push into downward facing dog. Without going into a full downward facing dog, inhaling again, dropping the knees, lifting the gaze to come back up into cow. Keeping the toes tucked. Exhale, we'll do that again as we push back into downward facing dog. One more time, dropping the knees, lifting the gaze, arching the spine. And then exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog. And we'll stay. Making sure to engage your lower abdomen As you exhale, belly button in and up. Maybe our gaze travels up towards our navel with a slight tuck in the chin. Maybe pedaling out the heels if you need to. Whatever feels good for your first downward dog, this full body stretch. Moving side to side. Again, possibly synchronizing your movements with your breath. And then just coming into stillness. As you inhale, feeling a little more length in the spine. And as you exhale, belly button in and up, engaging our lower abdomen to keep us here. On your next inhale, look at your hands. Either walk or step forward into the front of your mat. Coming into our first forward fold. The feet can be hip distance apart, a bend in your knees. Let the head be really heavy here. Hands can rest wherever feels comfortable. And just taking a couple breaths, feeling your heavy head weigh down your spine, releasing all the tension. One more inhale, and then exhale, slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Coming all the way up, rolling the shoulders back. Head is the last to come up. And just coming into Tadasana. With our feet about hip distance apart, firmly planted. Shift the weight side to side, front to back. Hips slightly come forward, tailbone tucked. Engaging our lower abdomen again. Shoulders come up and then roll back to settle. Palms face forward, gaze is forward and maybe slightly up. Chin neutral. And take a breath here. Inhaling, filling up the lungs just like we did before, into the belly. And then exhale belly, exhale chest. And then on your next inhale, circle the arms out and up, looking at your hands. And then exhale with the flat back fold, coming all the way down into our forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift, really feeling length in the spine. And then exhale, fold again, letting the head be heavy. And then inhale, circling the arms back up to complete one of our half sun salutations. One more. So exhaling, dive down with a flat back, trying to keep our hips over our ankles, even if our knees are bent. Inhale, hands to shins, creating length. Exhale, fold all the way down again, feeling that your fold's a little deeper than before. And then inhale, come all the way back up, sweeping the arms up, looking at the hands. Let's do one more. So we exhale, fold. Feeling that the spine is creating a little more length every time. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze a bit forward, creating length. Exhale, fold. And now this time, planting the hands and stepping back into plank. Our first plank of the day. Our hands are under our shoulders, fingers spread wide, index fingers straight forward. And just stay here for a breath or two, maybe moving side to side, feeling our core hold us straight. And then inhale, slightly shift forward, bending the elbows, come all the way down to the mat. With your hands under your shoulders, let's start to warm up the lower back. Inhale, lift up into baby cobra. Chest shines forward, gaze is forward. Exhale, roll back down. And then inhale, peeling up a little higher. And then exhale, rolling back down, using the breath to dictate the movement. Inhale one more time, a little higher, not putting too much weight in the hands. Warming up our back muscles, but not crunching in the lower back. And then exhale, roll back down. And rest here for a moment. Taking our hands to the outside of our mat. Elbows pointing up on your fingertips. Inhale, coming all the way up. Chest shines forward, gaze forward, chin neutral but up. And then exhale, roll back down. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, tucking the toes, either coming back into table or pressing up into plank to push back into downward facing dog. And stay here for a round of breath. It's okay if your heels don't touch, mine don't. But more so that we're creating length in the spine, feeling that each vertebra has a little more space in it. Our tailbone moving back towards the back corner of the room. That's what we're trying to achieve here. A micro bend in the knees is okay. On your next inhale, look at your hands. Either walk or step forward into forward fold. Inhale with a flat back, reaching all the way up. And then exhale, hands by your side, coming back into Tadasana, checking in. Gaze comes forward and maybe slightly up, tailbone tucked. Always engaging the lower abdomen as we exhale, navel in and up. And then inhale, reaching the arms out and up, making a big circle, looking up at your hands. Exhale, fold with the flat back and with extra length. Inhale, hands to shins, spacing the spine. Exhale, fold again, placing our hands on our mat, stepping back into plank. And then inhale, slightly shifting the weight forward. Exhale, elbows by your hands, coming down into chaturanga. And then inhaling up into upward facing dog, or you can stay in cobra if you'd like. Breathing here for a moment. And then as you exhale, using your core to push you back into downward facing dog. And breathe. Downward facing dog is a full body stretch, but also meant to be a bit of a resting pose. So at any point in this practice, if you'd like a little bit of an extra rest, just come down into child's pose. On your next inhale, look at your hands, either walk or step forward into forward fold. Still trying to keep our hips over our ankles, even if there's a bend in the knees. Inhaling, circling the arms up, coming up, look at the hands. Exhale, coming back into Tadasana just for a breath. Feeling that our shoulders are stacked above our hips. Our core is engaged, keeping us up. Our gaze is forward and slightly up, a bit aspirational. And then inhale, making a big circle with the arms, looking up. Exhale, folding, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding again. Feeling that each time we're going a little deeper, stepping back into plank. And pausing here for just a breath or two, now that we feel our core firing up. Imagine that you can kind of dome your shoulder blades. Inhaling, leaning forward just a bit. Exhale, elbows by your side, coming down into chaturanga, and then up either into cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, push into downward facing dog. One round of breath here. As you exhale, really emptying out, pushing the navel back towards your spine. Cueing our lower abdomen. Applying Mula Bandha. On your next inhale, inhale the right leg up and back. And then bend the right knee and let the right hip fall open, but towards the ceiling. Just start opening that hip up. And then making circles with that knee. Just opening up the hip. Using the breath so we can synchronize the movement. And then lifting that hip again in three-legged dog. Straightening out our hips, squaring them, straightening the leg. And as we exhale, bringing that knee in towards our chest so that we can place it in between the front of our hands. And just maybe coming up on the fingertips in this lunge and just adjusting. Back heel is raised. On your next inhale, lift up into crescent. Our knee, check that your knee is over your ankle, using our lower core to keep us upright. Gaze is forward. Take a couple breaths here. And then circling the arms down. And then coming into prayer with the hands at the center. Going to prepare for warrior 3. So leaning the torso forward, starting to put the weight into the front knee. And then straightening the body out, flexing the back toes, using our core to keep our torso straight. Gaze is down in front of us. Take a breath here. Use the breath to keep you. And as you exhale, gently bend the front knee and place the left foot back, coming back into crescent. Inhaling the arms up. And as you exhale, open up into warrior 2. Checking our position, making sure the front knee is over the front ankle, back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Arms are parallel to the floor, shoulders relaxed and shoulder blades down your back. Gaze over the front hands. On your next inhale, flip the front palm and reach back into reverse warrior. Exhale, coming back into warrior 2. One more time, flipping the front palm and reaching back. On your next exhale, coming into then side angle. Hand can either be on the inside or outside of the front foot, reaching that front hand over. Using the core, feeling that long line of energy between your left foot and your left hand. And then when you're ready, inhaling back up into warrior 2. Round of breath here. And then as you exhale, cartwheel the hands back down, framing the front foot. Left foot meets the right at the front of the mat and forward fold. And then inhaling, the hands come all the way up, circling up. Exhale, hands by your side, Coming into Tadasana, again, just to check in. Tailbone slightly tucked. Lower abdomen engaged. Navel slightly in and up on the exhale. Gaze is forward. Shoulders relaxed. And now inhale, circling the arms up. And again, coming into our forward fold with length. Inhale, halfway lift with steadiness. And then exhaling, fold. Placing our hands, stepping back into plank. Adjusting. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, coming down to the mat, either to cobra or upward facing dog. Inhaling here. Exhale, use the core to push you back into downward facing dog. And now we'll do the other side. So inhale, lifting the left leg up and back. And then bending that knee, opening the hip. And again, making those circles like we did before. Feeling the left side open up. And using the breath to coordinate. One more big circle. And then straightening out the legs, squaring the hips. Bringing that knee into the chest. As we exhale, bringing that foot forward between the hands. Again, maybe coming up on the fingertips to find some length in the spine, in this lunge. Adjusting here. On your next inhale, using our strength to lift the arms and lift the torso up into crescent. Breathing here. As we exhale, the arms float down and then come up into prayer. Preparing for Warrior 3. Using our core as always. Starting to lean forward so we can put a little bit of weight into the left foot. Lifting the back leg to come up into Warrior 3. Using our core, using our breath to hold us. Neck is neutral. And then slowly bending the front knee and very gently placing the back foot on the back of the mat. Coming back up into our lunge and then opening up into Warrior 2 on this side. Checking our stance. Front knee over front ankle. Make sure that our shoulders are relaxed and down our back. Gaze over the front hand. Feel strong here. On your next inhale, flip the front palm, reach back into reverse warrior. Feeling the left side body open up. Exhale into Warrior 2. One more time, flipping the front palm and reaching back maybe a little more than before. Back hand gently glides down your back leg. Back up into Warrior 2, and then as we exhale, coming into side angle, placing the hand down either on the mat or on a block. Reaching the right arm forward, long line of energy. Breathe here. And then coming back up into Warrior 2. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Pivoting the back foot, stepping up to meet the left foot. Forward fold. Inhale, circling the arms up. And then exhale down by your side into Tadasana. Taking a resting breath here. Tucking the hips, core engaged. And again, just noticing where the breath is at compared to when we started. On your next inhale, circling the arms up, we'll just add on to our flow. One last movement. Exhale, fold. Each time we fold, feeling that our spine is a bit longer than the last. Inhale with the flat back for length, using the core. Exhale, fold again. Hands on the mat. Step back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slow and with control, coming down to the mat. Inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog. And breathe. Each time you exhale, always remembering that navel goes in and up to move all the air out so that we can let it back in, letting the prana back in when we inhale. Inhale the right leg up and back. And then exhale, bring the knee into the chest so that we can place it through the front hands. Lifting up into crescent, arms by your ears, lower abdomen engaged. And now bringing the hands down into prayer, setting up for warrior three. Leaning forward on your inhale. And then pushing up to come into warrior three. Again, using the core to feel that long line of energy between your left heel and the crown of your head. Use the breath. And then gently bend the front knee, placing the back foot back and down, lifting the arms up, crescent, finding length between the ribs. And as we exhale, open up into warrior two, checking your stance. Knees over the front ankle, shoulders relaxed. Flip the front palm, inhale and reverse. Feel that stretch in the right side of your body. And as we exhale, now coming into side angle, but placing the hand on the outside of your front foot. Breathing here for a moment. And now setting up for half moon. So reaching that right hand a little bit up and outside of that right foot. Setting up, you can either use a block. And then start to then push your left foot off the mat. Full opening, shoulders stacked up upon one another. Opening up our chest. Gaze is either down or possibly up at the ceiling. Left foot is flexed. Using the breath. Feeling the body really open up with each breath a little more. Micro bend in the right knee. If you fall out, just come back. And then slowly coming out of this pose, bending the right leg and coming back into side angle. Inhaling, coming up into warrior two. Exhaling, framing the front foot, and this time coming back into downward facing dog so that we can do the other side. Taking a breath here. I know I need one. Maybe even closing the eyes. Checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. And when you're ready, inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee into chest. Stepping it through the front hands. On your next inhale, lifting up into crescent, using the core to hold the torso up. And then exhale, hands come into prayer. Leaning forward just a bit. Putting our weight then into our front leg. Lifting the back leg into warrior three. Finding a point to focus on in the ground beneath us. Our drishti. Using the core to hold us up, even if we fall. And then exhale, slowly bend the front foot and coming back. Inhaling the arms up so that we can exhale and open up into warrior two. Shoulders relaxed, gaze over the front hands, check your feet. On your next inhale, flip the front palm, reach back, left side body opens up. And then exhale, dropping that hand down on the outside of your front foot, maybe up on the fingertips, opening up into side angle. Long line of energy between your right heel and your right fingertips. And now setting up for half moon, walking the left hand forward, start to push onto your left foot. Stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips. Feel the front body really opening up here. Gaze is wherever is comfortable for you. Use the breath to keep you, and use the breath to keep opening up. And then when you're ready, slowly bending the front leg, coming back into side angle. And then lifting up into warrior two. Taking a breath here. Checking the stance of your feet. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down. Pushing back into downward dog. And now setting up for pigeon. Starting to cool the body down. Inhale the right leg up and back. And then exhale, start to bring it through so that your right knee is close to your right wrist and that your right ankle is close to your left wrist. And start to move your left leg straight and back, but keep the knee lifted just for a few more moments so that you can adjust and let your body adjust. Finding some length in the spine. Take a breath here. And so with your back knee lifted, start to come down. And then eventually dropping the back knee and untucking the toes, settling in. Making any movements that you need so that we can come into the space. And maybe then eventually dropping the torso, possibly using the hands as a pillow. And breathe here. Letting each exhale melt you into the earth. Letting go. And see where you can soften. Can you let go of the shoulders a bit more? Can you let go of the belly? Where can you soften for even more of a release? Two more rounds of breath here. And then slowly start to lift the head. Starting to unwind, taking your time. Finding some space in the chest, tucking the back toes. Spreading the fingers so that we can push back into downward facing dog. And before we move on to the other side, just notice how different the right side feels than the left. Just noticing. And then inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest to bring it through. Left knee towards left wrist. Left ankle towards right wrist. And again, keeping that back leg lifted so that we can find even more space. Back knee lifted, maybe making any wiggles or movements. Beginning to really plant that left sit bone, finding length in the spine. And then starting to calm down onto the forearms first. Again, still keeping that right knee lifted so that we can just wiggle into the right spot. And then eventually dropping that right knee, untucking the right toes. And then working our way down towards the mat. Scanning the body to see if there's any places where we can soften just a bit more. Feeling that connection with our forehead either to our hands or to the mat. Feeling that we're using the breath to send us even a little bit of more comfort. Two more rounds of breath here. When you're ready, start to unwind, slowly coming out of this pose. Instead of pushing back to downward facing dog, we'll just swing that right leg around. We'll come into a twist. So you can either keep your left knee bent or straight, your choice, but taking the right foot over that left knee. And just adjusting here for a moment. Taking the right hand behind you. As we inhale, we lift the left arm, really finding length on the left side of the body. And then as we exhale, hooking the left elbow onto the outside of the right knee, half lowered position. And then looking back over your right shoulder. And breathing here. With each inhale, feel that you're creating length in the spine. And with each exhale, twist a little deeper. And now keeping the torso and the arms and the legs where they are, I want you just to only turn your neck towards the front of your mat. So our gaze is forward. And then very gently start to lean your left ear towards your left shoulder just to feel that nice stretch in the right side of our neck. And maybe just play around with whatever feels good to your neck just to release. And using the breath to release tension. And then when you're ready, start to unwind, and we'll switch to the other side. Bringing the right knee either towards your seat, or right knee forward and foot towards your seat, or maybe straight out in front of you, whatever feels good to you. And then taking the left foot over the right knee to come into our twist again. Taking the left hand behind. Inhale the right arm up, feeling that length in the right side body. And then as we exhale, hooking the right elbow on the outside of the left knee and starting to twist. Looking out and back over our left shoulder, twisting. And really just twisting from your core. So with each inhale, find a little more space in the spine. And as you exhale, twist a little deeper. On the end of the exhale, you can even find a little more twist. Not straining, but just using the emptiness at the end of the exhale to deepen the twist. Now again, keeping the torso and the feet and the hands where they are, only turning just our neck and our head towards the front of the mat. And then starting to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, feeling that release in the left side of the neck. And just playing around with whatever feels good, maybe dropping the chin towards the shoulder. And then start to unwind. And then placing the feet out in front of you with the knees bent. Bringing the hands parallel, the arms parallel to the mat. Chest shines forward, spine is straight. Exhale, start to slowly roll down to the mat with control, using the breath, using the core, until we arrive all the way down on our mat. Now working with bridge pose, bringing our feet towards our seat, hands by our side, palms face down. Take a full round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, first starting to lift the tailbone and then the lumbar spine coming all the way up. Chest coming towards the chin. And then exhale, roll back down, vertebra by vertebra, slow and with control, as always, using the breath. And again, rolling up on the inhale, just dynamically moving through bridge. And then exhale, rolling back down, pushing the navel towards the spine. And then one more to stay. So inhale, rolling up, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Chest coming towards the chin, and then maybe even clasping the hands underneath the body and just wiggling the shoulder blades underneath for even more chest expansion. Keeping the hips lifted. Breathe here. Maybe even close the eyes. With each inhale coming up a little higher. And then unclasping the hands and exhaling, rolling back down. And then just to flatten out our back a bit, bringing our knees into our chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Maybe roll around side to side, massaging our spine with our own body. Maybe making little circles with the knees. And keeping the knees into the chest, but bringing the hands out into either capital T or into cactus arms so that our elbows are at the same height as our shoulders. And then bring the knees into a 90-degree angle or kind of like a table angle. And as we exhale, letting the knees fall to the right side, coming into a spinal twist. And then taking our gaze over to the left side body. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, take the left leg over the right knee, crossing them, and maybe even just resting the hand on the right thigh, bringing it over closer towards the right side of the mat. Breathing here. Making any adjustments that you need to come into this deep twist. And then bringing the arms back, starting to unwind, knees back into center, into neutral. As we exhale and dropping the knees towards the left side. And again, if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, cross the right leg over the left. And then look to your right side. Starting to really find stillness here. The breath is slowing down, the body slowing down. The mind will follow the body. So a calm body means a calm mind. With each exhale, releasing a little more. And then inhaling, coming back up into center, unwinding. Squeezing into a little ball, giving yourself a nice big hug. And then as you exhale, coming into savasana. Spreading your legs about hip distance apart or a little more, letting your feet fall open. Arms by your side with space between your hands and your body. Palms face up. Find a place where your neck is neutral and your head is supported. Closing down the eyes and letting go of the breath. Visualize the whole right side of your body relaxed. The whole right side of your body relaxed. And then visualize the entirety of your left body. The whole left side of your body relaxed. And then visualize the whole body at once, from your toes all the way up to your crown, totally relaxed and supported. No work left to do. All you have to do is let go. Slowly starting to come back to the sound of my voice. Just bringing a little movement into the ankles and the wrists, keeping the eyes closed. Bringing the knees into the chest. Keeping the eyes closed but rolling over to one side so that we can gently bring ourselves up to come into a seat for pranayama and meditation. If you'd like, maybe grabbing a pillow to sit on. Just being soft with yourself. Finding a comfortable seat. Hands resting somewhere above the knees, either with palms up or palms down. Maybe the index finger and the thumb touch in Gyan Mudra. Feeling your spine totally supported by each vertebra. Your own natural structure supporting yourself. with the shoulders above your hips, allowing this position to bring in full inhales and exhales effortlessly. And as you inhale, just as we started before, imagining the breath coming in through your nostrils, into your upper chest, middle abdomen, all the way down into your lower abdomen. And then exhale, pushing your navel towards your spine, emptying out lower abdomen, emptying out middle chest, emptying out upper chest. Air coming out of your nostrils. And then inhaling again. Air coming in through your nose, into your chest, into your abdomen, all the way down into your lower belly. Exhale, lower belly. Exhale, abdomen. Exhale, chest. Air coming out of your nostrils. And continue breathing just like this. Nose, chest, abdomen, lower belly, navel towards the spine, exhaling all the way out. Air finally coming out through the nostrils. And just watch the air coming in with control, filling all the way up, and then exhaling, emptying all the way out. Each time just watching the breath. Feeling present as you watch the breath. Your only job is to breathe and observe. Thoughts may arise, and that's okay. But just don't engage. Just watch them pass by. Feeling in the presence of the breath. And then letting go of the breathing and just feel effortless, feel light. All the tension released in your face. Effortless breathing and presence. Bathing in your very own presence and light. Coming back to my voice, but still remaining here in this state. If you're ready, exhale and drop your chin, keeping the eyes closed, bringing the hands into prayer, and just thank yourself for coming here today. Lifting the gaze if you're ready. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.